Welcome to another
I'm
AMOK
I'm huge.
week.
What's going to matter? It's all going to go crazy again in a moment when I bring
Oh
bring the
yeah.
people on. But
Oh yeah.
but you're looking at me running the show, and I can't do that. I can run a CT scanner. I could drive a stick shift. I can I can kind of play the guitar. I can do all kinds of things. But apparently, this is my nemesis, my
Nemesis.
nemesis, my
Nemesis.
nemesis. Anyhow.
This is
But
your
anyhow,
Joker.
and the problem is I can't even blame it on my sugar because my sugar is under 200. Now I'd like to really use that as a crutch, but nope, I'm just dumb.
Glad to
But that's
hear that
okay.
it's low today.
What?
I'm glad to hear that it's lower than norm today.
Oh yeah, well the problem is it's Tuesday and I'm a diabetic and it's Taco Tuesday and I eat a lot of tacos and all the
Oh my
tacos go
goodness.
straight into my bloodstream and then they go like wee, and by the time I'm sitting here it's like
Eeh.
I'm like hey. But that's all right because I didn't have tortillas, so
Ah.
it made life better. And
Tacos, tacos.
Oh, tacos.
Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
Okay, Jack in the Box. That's Jack in the Box.
It used to be kangaroo meat, years
That's
ago.
terrible. That's what
Oh
they said.
boy.
That
So
was
what
back
we
in the
got here,
70s.
thankfully, it is Pam's turn because I forgot where we was at.
I'm gonna hijack
Yeah.
it for just a minute.
Okay,
Hi, Jack.
absolutely.
Yes, because I want to wish my oldest baby boy a happy birthday today. Happy birthday, Isaac. I hope you are having a wonderful time golfing. He's golfing right now.
Cool.
So
You're
he's
gonna
not listening?
you're not gonna sing
No.
happy birthday to him?
I've already done that, and I'm pretty sure it busted his eardrums, so I was screaming.
All right, Pam, take it away.
Hey, there we go.
All righty. So for events that are coming up in Kansas in April, Wednesday, April 2nd, which is tomorrow, actually, through the 6th, Beetlejuice the Musical will be in Wichita. I was pretty stoked about
funny.
that.
Right?
Uh-oh.
Oh, here, I'll do my little Beetlejuice. There's my Beetlejuice impression.
She's been Beetlejuiced.
We are under a tornado warning, everybody. So.
Oh yeah. So for a minute there, I thought that Pam just flew away.
Are you back, Pam?
What?
Yes, she's back.
Am I back?
Yes.
Yeah, you were
Am I gone?
Yes, you
Yeah.
were.
Oh no.
Yeah, we were waiting for the house to
we're in
settle.
We heard
we
about
heard
Beetlejuice the
Beetlejuice.
musical.
We heard Beetlejuice, then we thought the house was going to fall on you.
No, that's Wicked. This is
well,
Beetlejuice.
Well, it's close.
No, Wicked.
It's close.
Okay. And if you want to find out more about the times, you can go to visitwichita.com and purchase tickets there. It's running Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So for most of those days, there's a afternoon performance as well as an evening. Looks like a lot of fun, though. And then Saturday, April 5th, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. is the 17th Annual Wyandotte County Ethnic Festival. And that is in Kansas City, Kansas. It's a free event. And it celebrates ethnic differences and common humanity. Everyone's invited to taste, see, and enjoy the wonderful ethnic foods, dance, music, clothing, educational culture, booths, and more. And then Saturday and Sunday, April 12th and 13th, is the 20th Annual Great Plains Spring Renaissance and Scottish Festival. Right? That's in Sedgwick County Park in Wichita, and it's from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day. And they have a thing called Jests and Jousts, and aerial acrobatics, falconry, and fire-breathing daredevils, bagpipes, belly dancers, singing pirates, knights, knaves. And then they also have the Wichita Highland Games and the Celtic music, kings, queens, Vikings, vagabonds. And then they also have the authors, Kansas authors thing going on there in along with it. So there's like fairy tales and fantastic artists, all kinds of fun stuff. And let's see.
Were there Scottish pirates?
Apparently, who knew?
Yes.
I didn't. I did not.
Saturday, April 26th, 8 to 2 is Flamin' Fantasy Ball and Book Market. Project, Ken. That's a Kansas City Mo thing, so it's just right across state line.
Come on.
It's KMO.
Come on.
And then on into August, we've got the Kansas City Paracon, August 2nd. It's at the Leavenworth Masonic Lodge in Leavenworth, Kansas, sponsored by Apex Paranormal and Strange Paranormal. And my group, Bordertown Paranormal, will be there promoting our Paracon and podcasts. And then I'll be sure to promote A.M.O.K as well. And then Sunday, September 27th is the 7th annual Bordertown Paracon in Caney. So
Yay!
Hey.
if you're interested in meeting us, we will all 4 be there. So it'll be a fun day. It's free to the public, ages 12 and up. It's a good time.
Good time.
Good time.
Good time.
Celebrate good times. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was thinking the other.
Wait a minute. Is something wrong with these? Wow, that was crazy.
Now I know why your son's golfing.
Golfing. Yeah.
I told you I can't hold a tune. I mean, Pam and I
Well,
even
need a
said
bigger
if we
bucket.
had karaoke, we'd be scaring
No,
everybody out the room.
Neither one of us.
Just need a bigger bucket.
All right.
Hey, on that Beetlejuice thing, I got a question though. Are they going to have like audience participation and dress ups, kind of like the Rocky Horror, the old Rocky Horror Picture
Not
Show?
that I
Wouldn't that be fun?
You know,
I wouldn't doubt it
you
though.
can do it whether they want you to do it or not.
Well,
It's just
Yeah,
one
you
of
can
those things.
show up in costume for sure. But I do like it because they called it Beetlejuice the musical, the musical, the musical. Instead of Beetlejuice.
Okay.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
So this week for our guest, what we have is that we have a return guest from October last year. People that I've known a long time over the internet. We've been affiliated to the Taft family. We're not Taft family, either one of us anymore, but still, they wanted to give us some updates about things that are going on. I'm going to bring them on, the Sedalia Ghost Hunters. So I'm going to bring them in, and everything's going to go wonky here for a minute. Bear with me.
Woo-hoo!
Yay,
Welcome!
Brahma!
And I moved them up there, and I moved me
There we are.
over here.
Hey guys.
And I can't do it. It never goes there right. There we go. No, now you're in the wrong place. There we go.
Got A.M.O.K.
A.M.O.K at its finest.
There you go.
All
Yes.
right.
At least if I freeze up and disappear, I'm on the end. So we're good.
Wait a minute.
Same.
Well, even if you freeze
Last
up, we'll
time-
miss you.
Last time we were here, we had a hand on the screen. That always a hand.
Do we have a hand still?
That was Thumb Girl. Thumb Girl's still here.
Oh, some girl.
There you go. Hey,
Funny.
I remembered that. I had a hard time remembering the date it was, but I remember the interview. So to refresh our listeners, tell us a little bit about who y'all are, what you're about. I mean, obviously ghost hunting, but I mean, tell us a little bit about what you want the world to know about the Sedalia Ghost Hunters.
Well, we are in our 21st year. We started in 2004.
Nice.
And over the years, we have done a lot of investigations, mainly private residences, private businesses, that type of thing. But we've also gone to some of the big name places like Waverly Hills and to Villisca Axe Murder House, places like that. But our bread and butter really is helping people out who come to us with a problem or they're just unsure of what's going on and they want some verification that what they're experiencing is really happening. So that's been our main thing over the years. Like I said, this is our 21st year, and there's been a lot of changes since the first one IR camera hooked up to a DVD recorder and a couple of very cheap audio recorders to what we have now, which is kind of the full arsenal. I'll let Dave talk more about that. But these two have been with the team basically the whole time. Shannon is a relatively new person. Hand Girl, their daughter, has been with us for several years. We've got one other person that's kind of getting into the group, but just having trouble scheduling. And then my girlfriend Debbie, she tags along. She's more interested in history of the locations than maybe the ghost hunting part. But Charisse is our case manager. She's the one who schedules and does all things, gets in contact with the people. As I said, Dave is our tech guru, and I just kind of go along for the ride.
Yeah. Well, everybody needs a beautiful face, and there you go.
And you are, I don't think you gave us your name.
My name? Oh,
yeah.
I'm Ralph Schwartz. No,
Ralph. Got it. Okay. And we have Hand Girl also, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
She has no name.
Yeah.
Just Hand Girl.
Yeah. I'm sorry?
Her name's Amelia, but we call her Emmy.
That's Hand Girl.
Hand Girl. Okay. Amelia. Hi, Amelia Hand Girl. Okay, got it.
So welcome, you're talking about when you started and you're hooking up your original system. Now I had Walmart security cameras that were running through RCA jacks into 4 VCRs.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. So I had that and one DVR night shot camera. So really limited in my view, because you remember those cameras of 2006, 2005, 2006, they were all really kind of low res versus now. Now I can light up a prairie. but and now that I got all this equipment, I never want to use it because it's such a bear to put it together, and you have to watch that stuff.
Yeah.
It was fun watching. It was fun watching videos on those. After about 30 minutes, all the pixelation started going on. You're kind of going, "What's that? What is that? Anything?
What is that?"
And then after a while, it's just like, "Okay, fine."
I was 4 when those cameras came out.
Yeah, that makes us feel better.
Yeah.
Emmys are.
No, I had that. The resolution on my mini DV was so much better than the resolution from my made up DVR and or DVCR, I should say. And but yeah, it's funny the changes over the years. So you said you started in 2004.
Yes.
In Sedalia, there wasn't much ghost hunters around there.
No.
Not at that time. There wasn't.
No. I actually approached Britt because we were working together back then, and he was talking about wanting to start a group that went from a scientific, standpoint. And so I started because we moved into a house that is 1894, 96 is its build date. And we moved in from the first time my oldest daughter, who was 2 at the time, started experiencing things. And then I started experiencing things. And that was about the time that Britt was saying he wanted to get a group started. So I actually approached him and said, you might want to come to my house, which we still live in.
Yep, still active.
I saw at Walmart in 2008. She was wearing a shirt with the paranormal phone number to call, and that's how I met Dave and Charisse.
Yep.
I followed her around Walmart for a little bit, wanted to talk to her, but I stalked her.
Oh yeah. Back way back in the day, you'd wear your paranormal team shirt, and people were like, "Oh, you're a ghost hunter," and people would flock to you. Now there's every neighborhood got their own ghost hunter, and you wear your T-shirt, and people are like, "Oh, one of those." Yeah.
Oh, one of those.
One of those.
It's kind of funny. I have Sedalia Ghost Hunters on the side of my vehicle, and that has been the best free advertising.
Right.
I had 2 nights ago. I'd been out of town and came in. I was driving back home, and this car first it pulls up alongside of me, then it lets me go, and then I turn onto my street. It follows me. I turn into the driveway, and it pulls up in front of the house. I'm kind of going, should I call the police? And no, I got out, and they said, "You're a ghost hunter?" I said, "Yes." And they proceeded to tell me of a location that we might be very interested in investigating.
Oh,
So
cool.
it's got.
I love that though. It's social interaction, and it opens people up to actually come to you and actually talk to you about what they're scared to talk to any other people about.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, well, I do that, and like, you should go to this place. So, yeah, I've been there several times.
We've actually used my house as kind of like a training place. We thought,
That's cool.
why not? So
I wear my shirt to the gym at Planet Fitness, and I've had a few people come up and talk to me.
We have people go just anywhere. If we're wearing our shirts, we'll be sitting having a meal in a restaurant, and we'll have folks just come up and say, "Hey, have you ever checked out this place?" You know, just out of the blue. So it's great advertising when you have a shirt and the car as well.
Yeah, it's like when we were on Ghost Adventures, we did the Port Chappie medical complex, and people come up to us after that show aired, didn't recognize me because by the time that was happening, I'd already cut my hair. They're like, "Hey man, have you guys ever gone to the Port Chappie?" I'm like, yeah. Like, yeah, it was on the show. I'm like, yeah, that was us.
Like, you might want to check this out.
We did an investigation up at the John Warnell House in Kansas City some years ago, and we had gone there and set everything up, and then we were going to go to this place that we'd seen on the way in to eat supper. And so we got close to it, and we pulled up to a stoplight, and there was these group of people walking down the street alongside, and this one gentleman, roll your window down.
Yes.
You ghost hunters? And we said, yeah, we're ghost hunters. You want to come join us? And he said, oh, hell no.
Oh, hell
no.
That sounds like my son. My son was so into it before he turned 18. I told him, my kids, you're not allowed to go with me until you're 18. And then if you want to go, you can go. And he turned 18, and I said, so when are we going to go to investigating? He goes, no, Mom, you're crazy doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm like, you are 6'3", dude, and you're too scared to go on a ghost investigation with me? And he's like, yeah, Mom, you're crazy. I'm not doing that.
See, my daughter's gone on one with me, and she's like, yeah, no, that's fine, but no, that's not my thing. So,
the answers are either no way in hell, I'll watch, that's it, or yeah, get me with you. I want to be there. Yeah, those are the three comments.
That's the standard responses you get.
Exactly.
People say, "Can I come with you?"
She was older to be able to come too, because she was interested, but we're like, well, you can't come yet. And she was like, okay, I'm ready. When are we going?
No, I had to wait because we were part
That's
of
funny. That's funny.
I'm waiting on my daughter.
Oh yeah. You said you had Sedalia ghost hunters on the side of your car?
Yeah, I do. Right.
We go in there when we do investigations, when we do like homes and stuff like that. We unless we're wearing jackets when we go in, we don't even wear our t-shirts because we don't want to. We had one place that we went to investigate the house. The people told everybody that we were coming in to investigate their house. We drove 2.5 hours to get there. We got in. We got there, started setting up, and next thing we know, there's about 20 people in the lawn, sitting in lawn chairs.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What is going on?" "Oh no, we're just gonna watch you guys do what you do." I'm like, "No."
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah. Did you get any evidence? Absolutely not. We had to throw out everything. Any MVP could have been somebody talking out there. I said no. It was terrible. So yeah, we tried to go in like ninjas.
Well, we had an interesting one years ago, but not interesting from a paranormal standpoint. It was one that we had down in Asbury,
that we got from Taft's, by the way.
And that was 5.5 hour drive for us. And we got all the way down there. And the folks that own the place we pulled in, and one of the houses was burned down.
Well, the first thing we saw was a diapered goat. I'll just put that in there.
Yeah, there was a diapered goat in the house.
Oh my God!
Well, at least it had a diaper on.
Yeah, as well as an IV bag stapled to the wall inside.
Nice.
And security cameras everywhere.
Oh.
And I think the husband was Puerto Rican.
Honduras or something like that.
Honduran, something like that.
South American.
But he left, and it was basically just the woman and her daughter there. And it was interesting, I'll say that, for a 5.5 hour drive.
Yeah.
And
an old dilapidated garage that had probably about $100,000 worth of vehicles.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
So we've had.
So if you find paraphernalia around there, bottles, empty bottles, empty pill bottles, and whatever else, you found that also. Yeah, I've been on one of those. It's like I walk in and the whole
only one.
I stopped doing private investigations for the most part after this fiasco, and it was like 4 miles from my house. It's like, what the hell are these people doing? I walk in and they said, we've got video of all of this stuff. The video was in 3-minute clips. Hours and hours of 3-minute clips, because it was just the way they had they had like 20 cameras inside. But I get in there, the first thing I see on the top of the fridge was there's no space up there that didn't have an empty whiskey or vodka bottle or whatever. And I'm like, I go downstairs and I'm like, okay, this is going to be crazy. They have a 20-foot bar down there. There are beer cans covering the entire thing, multiple deep, and I'm like, no,
throw that stuff away.
I stayed there gave it a good try for about an hour. Nothing, absolutely zero. It's like, no, everything they
only
were
spirits the ones that they were consuming.
Exactly, it was liquid spirits,
the liquid kind.
Yeah, the liquid spirits. Like, oh my God! So I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I think it's funny you guys made a mention of already had cameras set up. I always told my team whenever we did an investigation that to act like you're being watched, right? Because we don't. I was always conscious of some a paranormal team coming in, us and specifically, and the client leaving a recorder running. So you had to be careful what you said there. So we had certain code words that we used that we could say. So so not to offend anybody, but and Tina, I'll say something and Tina will get mad at me if I don't. It's like, wait, no, get to the car. And then when you're in the car, she's like, wait till we get out on the street before you actually say things. So it's pretty crazy.
No, that's crazy.
There you go. Right on. All right. So what's going on with you guys? What's up? You said you got something. You invited me to something. I couldn't make it, and I really wish I could have, because you're going to, where's that? You're going to
Ashmore Estates.
Oh
yeah.
Man.
Have you been there?
Haven't been there. This will be our first time there.
Amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. When you guys going?
August 3rd and 4th.
Okay.
Oh.
I did. Yeah. I looked at it. I was looking at all the stuff that I had going on. I'm like, I can fit this in and do this, and I got. I was like, Tina kept looking at me and said, "No, we're just not going to be able to." And I'm like, I would like to, because that is one that is on there.
We'll do a rain check, Adrian.
Do it. Do it.
Any of you are welcome to join us if you'd like. We'd love to have you.
That's really sweet.
Well,
you're like right smack in the middle of most of us. You're right.
We're going to be down in your neck of the woods.
Because he's here and they're there and you're like there. So
yeah, we're going to be down in Aurora that weekend.
Yep.
Oh,
right. We're going to check out the brothel.
I always thought it was a good idea to check out the brothel. But,
absolutely.
We're going to have fun in the brothel.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's a brand new place out your way, out near Springfield. Yeah, the Aurora Brothel. We had gentlemen on the show a few weeks ago, and yeah, we signed up, and I think we were the first ones to sign up. But they just had their first event, I think, last weekend or 2 weekends ago. We're going in August, so unfortunately, same weekend you guys are going to be gone. So we'll wave to you on 44 as we go by.
There you go. That's all right.
At least I will.
We'll do rain checks for everybody.
That sounds good. I think you're going
to join us anytime.
You're gonna like Ashmore. It's a really cool place. I've been there quite a few times.
Yes, it's amazing. I loved it.
We're looking forward to it. That's first time for us, so we're really excited about it.
Great. You guys by yourself? Just your team?
Yep.
Excellent.
Nice.
It'll be fun. Also, not too far from there's 2 cemeteries you might want to check out. You got the one where some of the paupers, I guess, were buried in. And then there's another one a couple more miles down the road, and I'll think of the name and I'll send it to you guys. But there's supposedly a witch's grave there.
Huh. Okay.
Every place has got a witch's grave. That's weird. It's a witch's grave down the street here, like 2 miles down the road from me.
They already have one.
That's where it's supposed to be. Anyway. But yeah, it's really quite interesting. It's a big sphere, but I don't know, good 2.5, 3 feet, about 2 feet diameter, I guess. So yeah, it's kind of cool. I'll send you the name of it.
Okay.
Cool.
Do you guys do cemeteries?
We really haven't done much with cemeteries, mainly because it's very hard to control the environment. You think you get something on audio, and then it could be something half a mile away that the wind is carrying or whatever. So we kind of shied away from that. I mean, we're not totally opposed to it, but it just seems like inside investigations work better, and especially with weather, if it gets cold or if it's hot.
When you're doing external when you're doing investigation outside, it's almost you have to rely on your personal senses and what things are.
Right.
So it's hard to capture any kind of evidence. Say, well, this is that. I don't know, because like you say, sound carries such weird ways.
A lot of the outdoor ones that I do, and I do quite a few of them, I use a spirit box. So it's a little bit less, what's the word? I can't think of it. Yes, it's less good. It's less gooder.
Less good.
Contaminated is what I'm thinking of. There you go. Yeah, spirit chats. So, but it's still a cool place to look at, and you can see some of the cemeteries.
We have a client that's around where Bothwell Lodge is here in Sedalia that has been waiting for us to come out. Her home was built on the property. She has a lot of Native American mounds.
Oh,
okay. She's been asking us to come out there, but of course we've been having to wait till the weather gets any better. She's approached us because of the interest in the Native American mounds.
There's definitely
that's interesting.
There's definitely protocol you have to follow in doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
So there's know your protocol. otherwise badness may happen. So
And then there's a historic home around Tipton, the Clay home that we've talked to. Then we're supposed to be meeting the board just so they can see us in person and talk to us. And we're all history nuts, or at least my husband and I used to do Civil War reenacting. So I'm anxious for that just because it was headquarters for Fremont. So to me, everything with the Civil War is interesting.
Very cool.
We've got a lot of Civil War places around here that that has a lot of history. The town where I grew up, Cole Camp, which is just south of here, there was a battle, Civil War battle there, and so there's been a lot. There was a lot of activity around here.
Yeah, we had a lot of skirmishes around Fort Smith. And of course, the original fort was I get to went back and forth a couple times. Union, Confederate Union, and there was a big battle. Well, the biggest battle was Mazur Prairie over here, but that being said, we've done a lot of investigations around here, and I've never got anything that I would say, well, that was Civil War. Mm-hmm. That was a Civil War spirit. So have you guys got that?
Well, the house in Florence, kind of. We investigated a home in Florence, Missouri, and supposedly the story to the house was that it had been in guerrilla activity, had been involved, and they had actually burnt the town down, and that I know of. And the house was supposedly taken over at one point as a makeshift hospital or for wounded. And we had a EVP of a sounded like a young girl saying, "Hi, they'll find us," which would kind of make sense if her house was overrun and being used by troops.
Yeah, that
that sticks out of my mind.
That's cool and sad at the same time.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Yeah, no.
We haven't got a lot specifically as far as audio that could go back to the Civil War itself, but a lot of the sites that we've checked out that had battles or skirmishes or whatnot, we have picked up quite a few audio clips.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
cool.
And to be fair, I mean, it could be the same way to me, because how can you say, because it's not pointing to, hey, it's 18, whatever. So, hi, my name is whatever.
Right.
Yeah. Be nice if they would identify themselves like that, though.
Right.
But you always hear the story. I've seen a lot of full body apparitions. I've seen a lot of partials. I've seen a lot of shadow people. I've seen a lot of things. I'm not a psychic, so I'm seeing things, and I've never seen somebody in a Civil War outfit. I've never seen anybody in a war outfit. I've never seen any of that. They've always dressed like you and I.
Yeah.
So, not wearing a team shirt, but they.
There's always that first, though.
Right.
Well, So the rule on our team is, if you pass, to speak directly into the mic. So hopefully we'll get some. It'll be me speaking into the mic, I'm sure. But we'll get it one of these days.
Yeah, I had some little bit of luck capturing some Civil War audio at Central Methodist University out there.
That's actually where I graduated.
What's that?
I graduated, and Handgirl graduated from there this last May.
Oh, okay. So you're familiar. I know about 9 friends and we investigated there for 4 days. 4 days and 3 nights. We got to stay in the administration, that one building where all the guests go, the administration guests go. What's that?
Givens,
yes, thank you. This is about, my gosh, this is almost 10 years ago. But we actually got back in the quadrangle, although I know that they've got more buildings there now. There used to be a wide open space towards the back. And we were just sitting.
Quite a bit.
That's what I heard. But yeah, we were back there, and we actually picked up a young boy who was in the who was basically sick, and he was in the war and during the battle that was there, and he was talking about. He said we asked him what color uniform he was wearing. He said blue. So
Air Force.
Air Force. There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the Civil War Air Force. Yeah, everybody remembers that.
Yeah, it was widely known. I mean, only in Missouri.
They did balloons.
Yes, they did balloons. Correct.
Yeah, balloons. Yeah.
We did get evidence from the church. We had investigated the church and the assembly hall.
Oh yeah.
And we got the weird thing in the assembly hall was a cat's meow, and they talk about the conductor that supposedly passed while giving a concert. He had a pet cat.
Well, I don't know about the cat, but I know he died during the concert.
Yeah.
And we got a little bit of audio down there. I have some really interesting photos of the assembly hall is before they took the chairs out. And we were sitting up on stage, and what was his name? Thomas, I think it was.
Thomas.
I can't remember. We were playing the music he was playing, and right about the time he died, we heard somebody just out of nowhere yell, "Thomas!" And that was about when he passed out, and died instantly right there. So it was a really, really fascinating investigation we did there for a couple of days.
Yeah,
I like the church and the
Oh, the
conservatory.
church.
Interesting. We actually we think we got the pastor. I know it's supposedly the church is haunted by a former pastor, and we actually saw a shadow figure and instruments that were reacting at the same time the shadow figure was passing to the pulpit.
Do you have a photo of the pastor? Because I talked to an apparition. They told me for almost 10 minutes.
Oh, no, but he was just in shadow form. But we're like,
I was just wondering if you ever found a picture of him. I wish we could, because I can still see the guy, and but
be interesting to see if with the picture and what you saw matched up with each other.
That's what I was wondering, because I can't find a photo. All I know is that there was on the Friday night, there was a wedding rehearsal going on down front, and the guy was telling me, I was talking to this guy, old grandpa basically, and at one point he points down towards the front of the church. I'm in the very last pew by the doors, toward the doors, and he goes, "See that girl down there? That's my granddaughter. She's getting married tomorrow." And then he just kind of gone. And then we saw him again outside walking along the path or along the sidewalk. So that was really crazy, and I can still see him. I can describe him to you, but nobody knows who he is. And we didn't have any. We didn't want to talk to the wedding party going on because, well, unfortunately, the bride to be became bridezilla to us. So it was not a pretty sight. So we're like, just ignore those people.
Yeah.
That's when we moved everything downstairs to the assembly hall.
Yeah. No, Fan's an interesting place.
Yeah, it really is. Very, very active.
My dog.
Oh.
No, we did Northeastern in Tahlequah, and what is that? Yeah, Northeastern State University, and it was messing us up because it had you get in there, and I'm like a typical team. I like the dim light. I like it dark in there, and the one room that they said most of the activity had motion sensor lights in it, so we had to sit there really still.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then we say, "Did you see a shadow?" And then somebody reaches up for their camera to take a picture. Click, and lights come on. It's like,
yeah. Technology is great, but when you don't need it, you don't need it.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. I was like, there was no way to turn that off. We looked high and low, and even we had somebody there from the university there to help us out. They couldn't figure it out. It's like, oh well, okay, don't move, nobody move.
Yeah, be very still.
Be very quiet.
Yeah,
exactly. Rascal, we wabbit. So what else you guys got going on? You got
Well, I tell you what, we're kind of proud of something. We were contacted. Actually, I'm a member of the Ghost Club in London.
Oh,
and
cool.
I was reading the journal. Oh, that's been maybe about 6 months ago, and they were wanting submissions of stories and experiences, and so I sent something in, and I got an email back from Mark Ottewell, who is the editor, and he wanted more information on our team. So I sent him a little bit more information. Then he said, "Well, I'd like to interview you all via video chat and get some information and just feature us in the next journal."
Oh,
nice.
So he's in the process of finishing up the article, and we should be in the spring issue. It's the magazine comes out 4 times a year, and we should be in the spring issue coming out here either later this month or early May. And he did a lengthy, we did a lengthy video chat once we got it all figured out how to do it across the pond.
And he's the
Yeah.
And he had a lot of good questions for us. We submitted a couple of photos. We didn't really have a lot of photos that we could send him, but we sent one, and he said that's going to be the cover of the magazine.
Oh, that's awesome!
Nice,
yeah, congratulations!
We're very thank you. We're very happy about this. This is kind of a feather in our cap because we've been doing this for a long time, and it's kind of nice to be recognized from a completely different, completely different angle.
Yeah,
and so I'm hoping that at some point I and maybe the rest of the team will be able to go over and actually investigate some of these places, because you read in the journal of when these places were built, and they like they're 800, 900, 1,000 years old, and you're going, oh, gee, that would be really nice to investigate here.
Doggone, yeah.
So we're pretty proud. We're pretty proud of this.
That is awesome.
Is it going to be possible to get copies of that?
I will find out. I think that we probably can secure a few extra copies, because I know there's some other people that have requested if we can get more copies. So that's
awesome.
Even if we have to, go online and order them or something, I think that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Go on over there and just pick up a copy.
Oh, I think I might. Well, I'll be in the area a couple weeks.
Hello, Governor. Can we have some copies, please?
Oh my God! Oh, that's awesome, though. Congratulations. That is really cool.
Awesome.
That's exciting.
No, I
need to go to Salem and Tombstone, and we'll be good.
I just heard talking. I stopped talking.
No,
that's awesome though. We get. Have you guys been in other media before?
We were in the newspaper here quite a few years ago, and then that story was picked up by Fox 4 in Kansas City.
Oh, right on.
And so we were. It was part of their Halloween thing.
Yeah,
so,
always. Yeah.
They don't do it for Labor Day.
Right.
And they should.
They should. That's the beginning of Halloween season.
That's right.
Exactly.
I just need to get back to Salem, and I would be happy around Halloween. I do family history, and I can go back to the witch trials and someone that was hung and someone that was crushed. And
wow.
Oh my God.
So I'm going to go back and see if I can get my family members to talk to me.
Oh
wow, that'd be cool.
That's how I wanted to do if I ever go to Germany and go to Auschwitz. I was going to see if I could reach out to my opa and see if I could get him to, because he died there as number 117. So
wow.
Yeah, I found that out just by researching and trying to find it on Ancestry.com, and they finally had some paperwork, because they burned all the paperwork over there. Well, I found that one that was close enough to who he was. That was like, wow.
I can remember living in Germany. My dad was a 30-year military man, and we lived at Spangdahlem Air Force Base in Germany. And I can remember as a little kid going around and seeing different castles and whatnot. And we also visited both Auschwitz and Dachau.
Oh, wow.
I remember that. I wasn't very old, but I remember in my mind of visiting those places.
Well, they said those places leave a mark on you. Everybody that I've talked to that have been there said that those places leave a mark on you. And it's like, gosh, anybody with empathy.
Exactly.
With the history of them and whatnot, I don't see how they couldn't leave a mark on you.
It's crazy.
I spent 3 years in England and didn't see anything.
Not a thing. I got to go back. So
wow.
I saw the witch memorial in Danvers. I got to see to that, and my husband is connected to Wyatt Earp, so his his cap would be going back to Tombstone.
Oh wow, that's cool.
His cousin.
Have you been to Tombstone?
No,
I have not.
that's the other
I'd
place
love to go. I'd love to check out the bird cage and see if my cousin can come out and say hello.
That'd be cool.
It'll take you all of 45 minutes and you're done. Ain't nothing. It is a wide spot in the road, tourist attraction, obviously. And we went there, and I have my mind on how it's going to be, and it was so different than anything I expected. Birdcage is kind of neat, but everything else is there's a gift store. There's a gift store.
No.
Oh, there's a gift store.
Everything caters to the tourism.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tourism.
Yeah, but it's all right. I got to be there, so.
Yeah.
I'd like to go just even for the memory, of getting to visit and whatnot.
No, yeah. We made it a point to go there one of the trips out west because I got family out west, and Tina wanted to go and said, all right, well, we'll do that. And we'll take this wide trip, and what I remember the most is the food.
Of course, it's the food.
That's not really out of the ordinary for me.
So what else you guys got going on? Any plans or any visits or investigations that you're planning on doing?
We do have several investigations coming up.
I know we're hoping to get back into downtown Sedalia because that seems to be an active spot.
Okay.
Doing businesses.
Yeah. And hopefully the county jail, Benton County, I had talked to them, so I'm waiting for them to let me know when it's okay to go back that direction. And like I say, the historic home at Tipton, that's to be decided and set up. So,
and maybe this location in Hughesville, it's an old hotel, so. Yeah.
Okay,
a lot of things they get put on the back burner, and sometimes they come to fruition, and then sometimes, it's what happened. Well, we never got back. They never got back with us, or whatever, and then you kind of stuck. But
we've got a couple of buildings here in town that we've been waiting on because they've had construction going on.
Oh yeah,
we've been waiting for them to give us the green light to be able to come in. So hopefully those will open up soon.
So do you have?
You were saying earlier that you mainly did you did a lot of homes and stuff. Now it's kind of like your focus, and same with us. So now we don't do. I mean, we'll do a home, but really it's got to be something special for me to go to a home. And now we're out doing the fun ones. So we're doing less investigations, but we're having more fun doing it. So.
Right. Cool. Well, I think sometimes if you do so many after a while, I think you get a little bit of burnout. Just do it one after another, after another, after another, especially if you're not getting a lot of evidence in the ones that you're doing.
Well, see, that's the thing. I'm really skeptical, so I get less evidence than other people do because many people say, "Oh, that's that," and I'm like, "No, that's not that. That's that," and then they get mad at me. I'm the bad guy here, but yeah. So it's been a while since I've had a good, what I would say, verifiable paranormal experience.
But that's a good point.
So yeah, I'm a little jaded.
So do you think sometimes when you're not getting any evidence and you've been there for a long, long time, you think they're just getting tired of you, or they've told you everything that they know, and they don't?
Or it's just worn out. There's been so many people there. The energy is just worn because it's been gone through.
It could be that too. Yeah. Because when we started, you'd go out, and I'm going back 2004, 2006 for us. You'd go to these places, and there was so much stuff. Like we had the hospital here in Boonville that we used to be able to go to, and when we first started going to it, there was all kinds of activity in there, and you get a lot of EVPs and stuff. And then as the years go by, although you'd visibly be able to see things, you wasn't getting as much data and stuff like you used to be able to get. That's because they were having 2 teams in every weekend. So I would think with that outpouring of that spiritual energy, I think they're depleting themselves. You think that is it? You think
I
it's
think
possible.
the energy it just starts to wane. It was like when we did Philoscope. The first time we were there in 2009, oh my gosh, it was just wild, the stuff that we got. And then the next time we went, it was pretty much flatline. Maybe a couple little things here and there, but nothing like what we had before. And I think it's just because the energy is just zapped out of it after a while. If you let it set for a while, then maybe the energy can kind of build back up. But gosh, I mean, there's teams in there pretty much every night.
From Waverly.
Yeah, same thing with Waverly.
We had someone that had been to Waverly that was with us, and we had all this activity, and the night we were there, it was
quiet.
Anything.
Even the guy that was staying there overnight with us, he said it's never been this quiet before.
You looked before, and it had been booked continuously, up to that time, like for 3 months continuously, pretty much.
Yeah.
When we went, we were like, well, maybe so many people have been here.
But you get that when we do private residences or places like that too. They'll say, "Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening," and then you go and there's not much happening. Now, are they elaborating a little bit more than what is actually happening? Could be, or it could be the people that are going in and doing the investigation. Maybe there's something there that's just not jiving with the energy. We did a series of investigations. Actually, we had 4 at this house just outside of Sedalia, and it was not an old house. It was built in 2005, but it was built on the trail.
Oh,
the Butterfield Trail.
Butterfield.
And the first time we were there, man, we got a lot of stuff. And then the second time, it wasn't much. Third time we went out, didn't get anything. And then the woman just had to have us come out one more time. Fourth time, we did pick up a little bit more stuff. But, it's just like there's really no rhyme or reason. Sometimes you go on an investigation and you get nothing. You can go back to the same location again later and just get a whole lot of stuff. So,
Well, living in a haunted house myself, I understand that because there'll be nights that's like it's crazy, and then you go like months, and you're like, oh, maybe I'm crazy because nothing happens, and then stuff happens again. So yeah, it's pretty wild, but I totally get that. So you guys aren't speaking at any events or anything like that, or that stuff. You got
most of our public speaking stuff is usually around the fall. That's when we get a lot of requests to come in and do public events and whatnot.
Yeah.
No, I get that. Always in demand around that time frame. Totally get that.
We had a question. We had a question a while back. Do you guys find any differences in the amount of activity depending on the season?
Yes.
It's an interesting question.
We've asked this question a couple times. It's been a while since we've talked about that.
I think that the fall around Halloween, I think is, in a lot of religions, including Wiccan and some of those, they believe that the veil is thinner around that time. Mm-hmm. And it seems like that can kind of be true because more of our investigations that we've had a lot of activity or a substantial more amount of activity has been in the fall, and especially like
September, October,
and then to early November.
Mm-hmm. I'll agree with that, but I will say that I will have the same level of activity in the springtime. So I think that that energy in the air as it's coming in that spring, like now with all the storms that we got going around and all that stuff activity going around, I've always seemed to have a greater amount of activity here. And then, like you say, in fall has nothing to do with Halloween or any of that stuff. I think it has to do with barometric.
That time
I think it has more to do about the barometrics and all that. So it's pretty wild. But yeah,
because they talk. The meteorologists talk about the springtime storm season, but then there's a smaller storm season in the fall, and so
I think ghosts as well don't move too well in the very cold or the very, very hot. Even ghosts on like summer times here. It's August. Are you kidding? You want me to perform for you? No.
Yeah, exactly.
I think at Fayette we were in the spring and it was storming the night we were there.
Yeah.
I remember it was storming. And I think it depends on the person. Like maybe if spirits are more attracted to a person in the group per se.
Of course they're attracted to me. I'm drop dead gorgeous. We got.
I'm gonna go that far.
Sorry.
That's why we split our team up. That's why we always split our team up at the end. We'll do that. We'll split up all the guys and then all the girls, and have this quick little blitz that we do. So we do find that in general the females get more responses than the men do.
We did a public ghost hunt in Arrow Rock one year, and we had such a large number of people. We split up into 3 groups, so it was kind of a round robin thing. One group started here, one group started here, one group started here. Well, the first group that got to the J. Houston Tavern, it was nothing. It was just typical blah 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 whatever. Second group came in. I mean to tell you, our equipment went off. People were feeling things. We got a couple of EVPs. And then the third group came in, and once again, it was just dead as a doornail. Yeah. So something attached itself to that second group that came in. They liked somebody in there or whatever. And that group brought in the activity. And the other people that were running the thing said, yeah, whenever that group was at their location, they were getting lots of stuff happening. So,
yeah, it's great.
Some higher energy.
All right, we are at the end of the show. I want to thank you guys for coming up and reaching out. That's fun talking with you guys, and we definitely want to hear what happened. We definitely want to hear what you say about Ashmore when you're done with that. So, yeah, that's cool. Hang around. We'll talk to you after the show, but I'm going to talk about next week for just a minute, and I'm going to close it up. So, don't leave us. All right, here we go. So, let's put me back on the way we're supposed to be. Hey, that actually worked out like it's supposed to. Okay, next week we have Ted Martin. Ted Martin from the Randolph County Asylum. That's the thing that I'm going to do. That's going to do that in May, and I'm pretty excited about that. So I'm looking forward to hearing what he's got to say about it. I'm actually kind of giddy about this place, the history of it, and the creep factor. So it's going to be good times. So it'll be a good talk. So be sure to tune in next week. And and it's Arkansas week. I'll even tell you about stuff that's going around here if I remember. You know how that goes. All right, everybody. See you next week.
All right. Bye, guys. Thanks for joining us.